Good morning, Tone Zone here with Alison. Hope everyone's well. Okay, we'll give it another few seconds. Just wait until see if we've got anyone joining us. Hopefully that's straight. I'm looking at that. I'm not sure that's quite straight. Okay, so just while we're waiting, make sure we've got some water, a chair in case you need one, and some light weights. I'm just going to grab my weights actually. Okay. All right, so I've got some weights handy. You don't need to use weights. If you'd rather do it without weights, that's fine. Or use a couple of tins of food or anything you've got to hand, really. Okay? All right. Okay, so we've got a couple of people there. So morning to you out there. So I don't comment and I can't actually see the comments if any comments come up, and sometimes they don't come up on the bottom of my screen when I'm actually doing it. So I'm not ignoring you, and I appreciate you watching and joining in with this. But yeah, I'm not great on this live thing really, knowing which to being able to see things unless I go and get my glasses. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to read our little disclaimer to start with. So please note that the following workout is intended for fit and healthy participants with no pre-existing medical conditions or injuries. It is not recommended for people with pre-existing conditions or injuries. Extra care must be taken with online workouts to listen to your body and stop immediately if you feel any pain, discomfort or ill health. Participation is at your own risk. Okay, so just take it steady. It's not as warm today, so that's a bonus. But just stop, have water whenever you want some. Use the weights if you've got some, drop them if you don't need to use them in certain exercises. Just do it at your own pace, okay? Get out of it at your own level, okay? Remember, obviously, you're there working on your own. You're just watching us. We can't see what you're doing, so just go careful. Okay, let's start warming up. All right, so let's just start warming up. Just moving through the body. We'll just get a little bit of movement going from top to bottom. Before we get started. Okay, a bit of a busy morning this morning, so it all seems a bit hectic. Okay, so let's start just going into a little bit of a jog here. If that jog's too much, just a fast-paced walk. Just start using the arms as well. I always ask, there's just 3 points that I really want you to remember whilst you're working out is remember to breathe. Most natural thing, first thing we forget when we're trying to concentrate. So breathing, really good breaths out, helps you with every move. Shoulders down towards the ribs and your belly buttons back towards your spine. And that way we're not holding any tension through the neck and we're looking after our back by just engaging our core a little bit, okay? So just always I just think of it as if you put a pair of jeans on that have just come out of the wash, they're a little bit snug. You do the zip up, you have to like breathe in a little bit. Just that's that bracing through the middle that I want you to have all the time. Okay, we're going to take these feet a little bit wider. Okay, just keep coming up now, lifting those heels off the floor. And we're going to bring that to a stop here and just take it from side to side. Not too much, just a little shift from one side to the other. And now as we're doing that, we're going to bring the arm in. So arm and lift, lift, lift. So we're just moving a little bit out to the sides, a little bit of lateral movement, just warming up the whole body. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take the arm round, there and round. So keep shifting the legs, arm round and back, and bring that arm round and round and round and round, and bring that arm round. Bring the legs in, start going back to that little marching then. Shaking the arms down by the side. Just loosening up through the shoulders. Pausing here for some circles back. For 5, 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to bring it forward, so I want you to just exaggerate, really diving those arms forward. 3 and 2 and 1. Now we're going to tap back, tap and tap, tap. So we're going to start taking the arm forward now. So reach and reach, reach, reach. So again, I don't put the music on, so just have your radio on. Don't have the news on, you don't need to be listening to that whilst we're doing this. Have some good music on, or some music of your choice, if not the radio. I don't put the music on in here, and I also do this in bare feet so that you don't have to listen to my trainers thudding on the floor. A couple more, 2 and 1, march it through. 5 and 4, 3, 2 and 1. Okay, shake off, shake the arms, shake the legs, have a little sip of water, grab my water. Have some water throughout, stop and have some whenever you want. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take the weights and just have them to hold at the moment. And we're going to, so either you don't have to use the weights, whatever you're using. If you're not using weights, just use your fist and we're going to be curling up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the side there and curl, curl. Now with this, what I want you to do, you don't need to go too deep, okay? If you're able to, okay, that's fine, go as deep, but just taking it, so it's just a curtsy that we're doing, as low as you can manage. With the curl, I want you to go from the arms on the side, curling it up, but try to have your arms against your body so that we're not just swinging. I don't want us just swinging these arms, I want us to really curl it up. So it's a little squeeze that you do as you do that action, okay? We're going to alternate the side with the legs, and red, we're going to go for 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and curl, and curl, and curl. That's it, good. So it's a little squeeze as we go into this. And if you're just there with that curtsy, that's absolutely fine. Or you can go a little bit lower. You can go right down towards the floor. Whatever level you're working at, you go for it. And curling it up, and up, and 2, and 1. And rest that off, just march that through. So we do a little march through in between for a few seconds, driving the arms forward. Now what we're going to do is bring the feet just very slightly wider than hip width apart, okay? And from here we're going to take the arms over the head. So we're going to take them from here. We're going to squat down, take the arms up and down, low and up, and low and up. Now if that's not comfortable taking them that high, bring them here, and low and up. And with the squat, just a slight bend in the knees, fine. And low and up, so you're working at your own level. And up, we're going to go for 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, finish this last one, and down, let's march it through. So we're marching through with these weights all the time. You've got that little bit of resistance. Again, clenching the fist if you haven't got the weights. Marching it through for a few seconds. We're going to go into our front lunge and a punch. So we're going to come into that front lunge, 1, 2, in and back, okay? All right, so as deep as you want on this lunge. So ready, right legs forward, bending the knees, over, in and back. Change legs there. 1, 2, in and back, change, and 1, 2, in and back, and change. 1, 2, in and back. Good. Keep that going. And back, and 1, 2, in and go. 1, 2, and 1, 2. We're going to go 1 more each side. And punching. Last one, punching and back. March it through. If you need some water at this stage, grab some water. We're going back lunge. We're taking the punches, but we're going to take them a little bit higher. Okay, so it's going to be punch, punch with this one. So we're alternating that back lunge. So 3, 2, 1, and back. 1, 2, and up. So you've got to hold a little bit of balance here, and up, down, 1, 2, and up. Holding that balance. So you're drawing the tummy, belly button back towards the spine, and 1, 2, and up, back, 1, 2, and up, and 1, 2, and up. If this is too high with the arms again, you can bring it down lower. One more each side. 1, 2, and up, and 1, 2, and back. March that through. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest off for a moment. Okay, have a little drink. Just have a little rest for a moment. We're going to go into some side bends. Okay. So I want you to have your weights in your hand for this one. But we're going to just working through the waist. Okay, so we're going to have the weights so that they give us a little bit to guide us down. Okay, so slight bend in the knee, and we're going to there and up, and there and up. Okay, we're going to go 30 seconds doing that one. Okay, but we're finished. We'll start on the right side, we'll finish on the left side. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the arms up, and we're going to go high knee and in. Now, if you struggle, if that's not comfortable, not for some people, if you've got sore shoulders at all, doing these moves can be slightly uncomfortable. So just bring it forward, bring it in front of the face. It doesn't have to go all the way up, okay? Or if it's too much with the weights, drop the weights, okay? And also, if that's too high on the knee, then we can go there, just there, and there. You don't have to bring it all the way under, okay? You work with what's best for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is side bends first for 30 seconds, straight into the alternating knee raise. Ready, and over. Reach, center, reach, center. So breathing out and in, and out and in. So keeping it on the side. So follow that seam of your leggings, or just think about that side of the leg. And one more each side. And finishing on the left and up. Okay, so bring the feet in slightly, and we're going to start with the arms over the head, 30 seconds, and knee up. And so this time you want to take an eye gaze to a fixed point, because as you lift that leg up and down, you've got a little bit of balance going on here. So we're trying to get that knee as high as we can. Again, if that's too much, just here and here, okay? So whichever suits you. We're going to finish on the left side, so we'll go one more each side, and finish, and rest off. Good. Walk that through. Well done. Okay. So we're going to do a little shuffle now to the side. So you need to have enough room where you're working out at the moment, okay, to actually start with a slight bend to the knees, and we're going to go 1, 2, tap to the floor. 1, 2, tap to the floor, okay? Don't have to touch the floor. You can go 1, 2, tap. 1, 2, tap, okay? So just a little lean, or go to the shin, however low you can manage, okay? If you're a little bit savvy about it, you can hold the end of your weight so that when you go over, you've got the weight, so you're not actually having to go as far. Your weight's taking some of it, okay? So whichever one is best for you, okay? So we're going to go for 30 seconds on this. Slight bend in the knee and shuffling, and 1, 2, tap. 1, 2, tap. 1, 2, tap. 1, 2, tap. If you can go a bit quicker, then go a bit quicker. If you need to pace it, then pace it. Only you can see what you're doing, so you work to your own level. So you can step it through, stepping it through, almost there, Let's go for one more each side. Finishing there, and bring it into the middle. Good, we're going to punch it through now. So slight bend in the knees, tummy's drawn in, over, over. 15 seconds in front of the chest and 15 seconds towards the ceiling. That's it, good. So our tummy's drawn in here. We're working through the waist a little bit as we do these punches. 2 and 1, reaching up. So we have to slow this down a little bit so that we're in control. We don't want just to be flailing our arms around. We make it a good punch. We've got 3, 2, 1, and bring that down. Good. Okay, rest off and grab some water. Little sips of water all the way through. Okay. Again, I'm using the weights again, you don't have to. Okay, we're going to have to, I think one of these are filled with like little beans. I think it's obviously got a tiny little hole in it because I can hear little drops on the floor. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do our jack, but with our weights. So it's there and there. Okay, so if the weights are too much, then drop the weights. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll start with it slower, we can pace it up. But if you need to stay at the original pace, then do. Okay, so 30 seconds is going to be on this one. We're alternating the side. So from the hands from the middle, tummy's engaged. We've got 3, 2, 1, and out. And out. 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 That's it. So if we can start going a little bit quicker with a little hop, then we will. If not, we stay as we are. So we can stay there, out. And if that's too high on the arms, just bring it there and there. There's always a way around it. In 3 and 2, we're going to finish on that left side and rest off. Give the arms and legs a little shake. Drop the weights now. Going to roll the shoulders back a couple of times and forward. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little movement front, side and back with the legs without the weights. Okay, so it's just little lunges and a side lunge. Okay, so we're going to keep the body upright, shoulders down, tummy's in. Eye gaze is now on the horizon. Okay, so we're going to keep our eye gaze forward the whole time through this one. We're going to take it forward and out and back. 1, 2. Forward and out and back. 1, 2. Okay, so we just do 2 legs in between just to steady ourselves more than anything, because sometimes if we go straight from the other side, we haven't given ourselves a chance to steady ourselves. So shoulders down, tummy's drawn in. Ready, we start on the right leg. Eye gaze forward and forward. To the side, to the back. 1, 2, and front and side and back. 1, 2, and front and side and back. 1, 2, and front and side and back. 1, 2. This is round 3 and side and back. 1, 2, and front and side and back. 1, 2, and front and side and back. 1, 2, and front and side and back. 1, 2. We'll go a couple more rounds on this and back. 1, 2, and front and side and back. 1, 2, last round and side and back. 1, 2, and front and side and back. 1, 2. Shake the legs off. Good. Okay, rolling the shoulders a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of work through the arms without any weights. So we're just going to do a little bit of circling through the arms, taking them up and down, in and out, but with no weights. Okay, so We are going to go for a minute on this, and our aim is that we don't let our arms go down below our shoulders, okay? So when you have them out, we'll have them out in line with the shoulder, and we're going to try and keep them there. Now, if they get really tired, give them a little swing off for a few seconds and then come back into it. Try not to elevate these shoulders, okay? We want the shoulders pulled down towards the rib cage, okay? We don't want them hunching up. So we've got a slight bend in the knee to make sure that we stay nice and straight and upright rather than arching the back when we're doing movements. If I just stand like that, I can arch. Okay, so just bend the knees slightly, lock in. Now the arms are going to come up to the side. I'm going to just have my fingers pointing out, and I'm going to do small circles round. And 2, 3, 4, and 5, other way, round. And 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, fingers pointing up for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now point down for 2, 3, 4, 5. Point them out. Turn in to face the front of the room and bring it in and out. 2 and out. 3 and 4 and 5. Now turn the palms facing up and 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Now we're going to go again with that. So I want the hands, palms facing down. We're going to pulse for 2, 3, 4 and 5. Fingers up. We're pulsing. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Fingers down for 2, 3, 4 and 5. Turn the palms towards the screen and in. And 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now turn the palms up and tap. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now bring them down. Roll the shoulders. And back the other way. And shake the arms. Okay, good. All right, so that's just a little bit of arm work there without any weights at all. We're going to have some water and we're going to come down onto all fours onto the floor. So if you need to, depending on what surface you're working on, if you need something extra underneath your knees, then grab something, maybe a half folded towel, or if you've got a mat, you might want to roll it up so that you've got a little bit more cushioning for the knees if it's uncomfortable. Okay, we're going to take ourselves over onto all fours. So we've got our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, and we're just going to reach out. So we're going to do that opposite arm, opposite leg, reaching out and down. Okay, we're going to go 5 off of right arm, left leg, and 5 on the other side. Then we're going to pull back into a stretch. Then we're going to bring it up. We're going to do 5, taking it on a side reach and pulling it back. And then we're going to do 5, taking it out, side, centre, tuck, and pull back into a stretch. Okay, so we've got those 3 rounds to do. I'm just going to move my chair slightly. Otherwise I'm going to hit it with my hand. Okay, so I'm trying to stay in the screen for you. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tummy's drawn in. Okay, and we're going to reach our... So I want your eye gaze. Don't look through at what the legs are doing. Okay, try and keep the neck nice and straight. So I want your eye gaze either just in line with the top of the fingers or just even very slightly ahead. Okay, just to keep that neck in a nice straight line. So we're ready. We're going to reach out, right arm, left leg, and lengthen. Out, and 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're changing sides now. So steady up first before we change, and reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Okay, pull back into your stretch. So just stretch it off. This stretches the back, but it stretches through the shoulders nicely as well. So a few breaths in and out. And bring yourself back up. If you don't need to stretch, if you're able to carry on and do more, you can always carry on and do some more whilst we're doing that stretch. It's entirely up to you at what level you're at. This time, we're going to reach out and wide. Okay, so right arm, left leg. So lengthen, take it wide, centre and down. And 2. Out, centre. So we're trying not to move the hips wobbling at all. We're keeping nicely centred. 4. Out and 5. Out. And we're taking that down. Okay, so just check where your hands are. Check where your knees are. Eye gaze either just straight down or very slightly ahead. Left arm, go. Reach. Wide and down. 2. Wide and down. 3. Wide and 4. Wide and 5. And bring that back. Okay, pull back into that stretch. Walk the fingers away slightly. Stretch it out. And then we're going to come back up. So I've got to bring my hands in again so they're underneath the shoulders. Now we're going to do that reach, out, centre, tuck. Okay? 5 each side. Ready, and lengthen, wide, centre, tuck. Lengthen, wide, centre, tuck. And 3, wide and tuck. 4, wide and tuck. 5 and tuck. Okay, changing over. So just change. Make sure you're steady. And other side, lift, up, wide, centre, tuck. 2, out. So really think about drawing the tummy in when you're doing this. And 4 and 5. And rest off, pull it back into that stretch. Stretch it back. Okay, good. All right, so from here, we're going to stay in this position here now and move forward very slightly, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take that one leg back, and we're going to lift it up and up, okay? So we're going to go for 5 on each side, okay? Then we're going to come back up onto the hands and try and stretch back if you can, okay? If that's too much, then just come back into the stretch here. All right, so we've got 5 leg raises. So on the hands and knees again, one leg's out, nice straight line, and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change. Point and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that in. Come up onto the toes. Pull back. Flatten off. We're going to go into our press ups here. So take the hands a little bit wider, a little bit further in front. Try and drop the hips. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull it back. Okay, so we're going to go another round on that one. Okay, so hands underneath the shoulders. And leg extends. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Other leg. Reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that down. Toes tuck under and pull back into that stretch. And bring that down. Hands come slightly forward, slightly wider. Hips towards the floor. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull back. So if these press ups are too much for you, don't worry too much about them. You can actually, what I want you to do is take your hips in a straight line. If it's too much for that weight bearing, keep your hips bent. Okay, keep into this position that we were in. Okay, take your hands slightly out, slightly wide, and just try to bend the elbows a little bit. That's a little bit of weight bearing there, and that will just be a nice building block to actually getting in a position where you take your hips down. There's always, just pull it back a little bit. As long as you're always keeping nice and controlled, belly buttons pull back towards the spine. That's all good. Okay, we've got one more round of these. Hands underneath the shoulders. And we're going to take that leg out and lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that down. Steady yourself. Check position and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that down. Tuck the toes under and push it back. Trying to push the heels down and bring it back in. Take the hands ahead and slightly wide. Lengthen through the body, hips towards the floor, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and pull that back. Stretch it off. Nice big stretch there. And carefully come round onto your back. So have some water here if you need some. The floor's got a bit grubby here now. Okay, so we're here rolling round onto our backs. We're going to lay down and we're going to do some, just drawing the knee in towards the chest for our tummy, and a little bit of a hip lift, still working through our glutes. Okay, so we're laying down, hands on the floor, and I'm going to have a slight tuck of my chin, so I've got a nice double chin going on, okay? What I want to do is I want to have my eye gaze towards my knees, okay? So, you should be able to just about see your knees there when you tuck the chin. The reason I want that, because if we're like this, we can have a really big curve going on in our neck, whereas if we just tuck the chin, we can just straighten off that neck again and just keep that nice line through that spine. Okay, hands are down on the floor, and from here I'm going to just take my right leg and I'm going to slide it away, lift it up, take it down, draw it in. So slide and lift, down and in. So I'm trying to keep the hips as still as I can, down and in, and reach away, lift, down and in. So I've got my eye gaze going towards my knees, my tummy's drawn, my belly button's drawn down towards the floor, and in, and reach, lift, and in, and reach, lift. We'll go for one more each side. So pushing away, lifting up, lowering and back. Out, lift, down and rest off there. So hands to the floor, chin is tucked in, and now my knee's going to come in and in. 3, so I'm tapping my tiptoe in and in and in. This is 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Now I'm going to try and go for both knees. If that's too much for you, stay with the single leg. Tuck that chin, belly button's drawn down towards the floor, and in and tap. 2, try and have a fist gap between the knees. 4 and 5 is with a little rock here. 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest the feet to the floor. From there, we're going to roll through the hips and push up towards the ceiling, pushing up and lower, and lift and lower. And 3, trying to keep the hips, knees and toes in line. 4, and tucking the chin still. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9. Hold it up on 10. Hold it there. We're going to hold for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower it down to the floor and hug the knees in. Okay, good. We're going to have a little stretch out now. So I want you to just, don't draw the knees in quite so much, take them away a little bit and then try and just circle them round, small circles. And that just massages the lower back out a little bit and go round the other way. Circle it round. And then from there, if you can, arms out to the side, we're going to just take both knees over to one side. And if you struggle to touch the floor, then just take them over, just rest that bottom foot on the floor and then just hold them there. And bring them up. And if you do struggle to get the knees to the floor, it's quite handy to have a cushion with you. And then when we do this stretch, you can just always put a cushion underneath and that just gives you that little bit of something to rest on. Still getting the stretch out of the back, but you don't have to go to the full move. Bring those knees to the centre. Now wrap the arms round. Hug them in a couple of times. And rest them down. Okay, carefully bring yourself up to sitting. Just let steady yourself for a moment and then very carefully come round onto all fours again. Hands underneath the shoulders, so back into this position again. And we're going to draw our back up towards the ceiling. And we're going to let it sink down, curving that back off. And draw it up towards the ceiling. And this time you are tucking your neck in, okay, you are looking through your knees and arch it off. And one more time, pulling up, just to get that chin tucked in here. And flatten off, just flatten off to that neutral position. Pull those hips back again, walk the fingers away. And if you can, just take one hand in underneath the opposite arm and try and get this arm's shoulder as close to the floor as possible, resting the cheek down on the floor. And if that's a hard one to do, if you're only there, that's fine, just take it through and just try and guide it towards the floor a little bit. You don't have to always be all the way down, okay? There, that will be enough stretch for you if that's where your range is. And bring it back and through the other side. Trying to get that shoulder to the floor and rest that side of the head down. So again, if you're here, there, you're just trying to guide this arm down as low as possible. And bring that back out. Tuck the toes under and bring yourself into a curled position here. Okay, so we just curled, our chest is down towards our thighs, and then we're going to slowly roll up, so keeping that chin tucked in, and we're going to slowly roll up to standing. So very slowly rolling up through the spine. Your head is the last thing to lift up, so try not to get dizzy as you do it. Okay, you're up to standing. Give the arms and legs a little bit of a shake. Take that one foot back. Ease that heel down towards the floor just to get a stretch through the calf. We didn't use our chair today actually, did we? We didn't need it. And bring that leg in. Other one back, push that heel down. So if there's anything, any of you that are doing the Tone Zone classes, if there's anything you want to do more of or less of, or if you find, bring that leg in, hold on to something if you need to. If you find, and bring that heel up behind, push the hip forward, that the going down to the floor and up again isn't something that you enjoy doing or you find it uncomfortable, then and just sort of say what it is you'd prefer to do more of or less of, or any other bits that I'm not doing that you'd like to do, okay? So always happy to change legs, to work with whatever it is. It's your class, it's your session, so if you've got any things that you particularly want added in, push that hip forward, then let us know. That's it, it's a nice stretch on that thigh. And rest it down, give the legs a shake, bring the hands into the chest, breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to reach away, just round off that back again, just really curving through the spine. nice C shape. And bring it in and take it round behind and push the arms down as you take the chin up towards the ceiling, lifting the arms as far away from the body as you can. And again, some people would prefer just to put their hands on their lower back and squeeze the elbows towards each other. It's all the same. And shake off. Do a couple of circles with the arms. And back round. And there we go. You're done for this week. Okay, so thank you for joining in. And I will see you next week for another 2 sessions of Tone Zone. Okay, so have a good week and weekend and catch up with you next week. Take care. Bye.